Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's probably Sharon. Today we're going to do some paper dyeing. And we're going to get these results, these beautiful, vibrant, perfect colors for Easter. And we're using fabric dye. It's fast, it's pretty cheap really, and it's a lot of fun. So hang with me and we'll get to it. Okay, so before I get started doing the full sheets of paper, I just got a few little spray bottles and I'm going to add some of this dye to 3 of the spray bottles. So I put about 3/4 full of water, and I'm just going to add a little bit of dye to each one. This first one I'm doing is green. It's called Truly Green. I can't tip it to show you because, well, I will get dye all over the place. So I'm just going to put you know what? I need to shake this up, I think. There, that looks better. Just going to add some green to this one. And then I will do the blue and pink one. It's going to be pretty dark, but I'm going to use this for accents and things like that. You'll see as we go along. Oh, this one is aquamarine. So these are normally used for dyeing cloth, mainly, I think. But I thought it would be, really easy and fast. You don't have to boil your red cabbage or your avocados or your onion skins. You can just add a little RIT dye and get some colored paper for your journals, for your spring journals, hopefully. And in a fast, quick, easy, the other way takes so long. But I will admit, when you do the cabbage or the avocado, stuff like that, it's a different color than you can get with dyes like this. So this one is petal pink, or yeah, petal pink. But you might ask yourself, why not just go and buy the paper, colored paper? You get a different look when you dye it yourself. It'll have like certain spots will be darker and lighter, and you get kind of like patterns. You can do stencils on them while they're drying, which really looks cool. So I really like dyeing my own paper. I've tried a couple of these colors already, but some of them, this will be my first time. So it'll kind of be a little experiment. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit tricky filming, not what I'm, not how I'm used to filming stuff. So I'm gonna be moving from my craft desk to my family room and whatever. We'll try to get through it. So I apologize if there's a lot of jumping around, and yeah. The results will be awesome though. I think you'll be happy with the results. So I usually get a great big pan. This is from like a, what are they called? The chafing setups. This is like the big pan that goes underneath that usually you put the water in. And as you can see by the staining, I use this for just about everything that I dye. So first what I'm going to do, I'm getting about, I'm not going to do a whole lot of each color. So I'm going to do about a cup of water, and we're going to start off with the yellow. So I'm doing a lemon yellow, and I'm going to put in about a tablespoon, maybe a little more. That was a little more for sure. So the thing that's cool about this is, you know, if it's too dark, add a little bit more water to it. If it's too light, add a little more dye. And one of these bottles, it's going to last you forever. So just kind of smush that around, swirl it around, get it mixed in. And it's a good idea to wear gloves, of course. You're going to end up with rainbow fingers. Maybe you want rainbow fingers, though. That's, you know, it's up to you. It is hard to get the paper out with gloves on, so I'm not going to say I'm going to keep the gloves on the whole time, because a lot of times I get frustrated and end up taking them off anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to do one sheet of paper at a time. Make sure it's submerged. Make sure both sides are covered. I think I'm going to do, I don't know, 5 or 6 sheets of paper. Ideally, you'd probably want to do this on your patio or your garage. This is where I have to do it. When it's not okay to do it in my kitchen, really. My craft area is just kind of where I do it, and in my family room. But I know everybody's setup is different, so, you know, if you can do it on a patio or in your garage, that's probably the best. Then you don't have to worry so much about spilling dye. I want to throw in a couple of index cards. Okay, I'm having to get a little tricky so that I can show you this. So this is actually just a coffee table. I put a thick towel on it and double folded it. This is my main towel I use when I'm dyeing paper. So hopefully I'll be able to get all of this in, and I'm trying not to make it upside down for you. All right, so my pan is over there. I'm just going to go ahead and start pulling the papers out. So first I have an index card. I'm just going to get both of those out first. And then, I mean, I can't tell if this is in screen. I'm hoping it's on the screen. And then I've got a couple cute little stencils. And I'm just going to lay that right on the index card. It kind of suctions to it, just because it's wet. Okay, so here's where the sprays come in. The sprays that we did at the very first. So I'm going to get, let's see, here's the green one. And this is an experiment. I haven't tried this before with dye. I've done it with like coffee and stuff, but I'm just going to spray where the stems are on those flowers, just a little bit. And hopefully, I mean, you want to do this while it's still wet, okay? Because if it's dry, it won't have the same effect. This is the blue. Maybe we'll do, last one we'll do pink. Okay. And then for the sunflower, I am, you know, sunflowers are yellow anyway. I'm actually, this is coffee. I have coffee in this little mug. I'm just going to drip a little bit of coffee right in the middle. We'll see how that turns out. I mean, a lot of this is just an experiment, so. Okay, now let's try to get these big pages out. And like I said, this is difficult with gloves on, so I'll try to, yeah, be very careful and get these out. I don't want to stain my fingers. Okay, so here we have, that's just the copy paper. Ooh, this is hard to get out. A lot of times I end up tearing the corners. Okay, I think I'm gonna turn it that way. These are really bright yellow. I might have put too much yellow, but I think it's really pretty and bright. Of course, when it dries, it might be a lot lighter, so. Okay, and on those, let's see, I think I do want to do a stencil. Maybe this one. We'll do a stencil on this one. I'm just going to lay it right on the top and let it dry with the stencil on top. Ooh, I tore the corner on this one. Sorry you can't see me. I promise you're not missing much. I wish I had a huge drying area, but I don't. Oops. You don't want them to stick together because, or I mean lay on top of each other, because sometimes they dry, they'll start to dry and they'll be stuck to each other. So try not to overlap them if you can. So I'm not going to be able to put all of them on this table that you can see. I'll have to dry some of them somewhere else, but I wanted to just do a little bit of spraying of the other colors just to kind of, I won't do it on all of them. I'll just do it on these two and then leave the other one just to dry on its own. Okay, I'm going to lay the other ones out. You're not going to be able to see me do those, but you will get to see it at the end. So we're done with the yellow ones for now. Okay, well, let's move on to another color. So here we are back at my craft table. I think this is about a cup of water. I think I need a little more though. We're going to do purple next. The reason I chose purple and not blue or pink is because I just did a whole bunch of avocado dyed pages. Well, just a few days ago, actually. So I opted to do purple. And I'm going to put, well, let's see. I think that was about a tablespoon. Yeah, about a tablespoon. This is going to be really pretty. I am working on another spring journal right now. I've already bound it though. It already has the pages in there. I'm just kind of at the decorating stage. And so I'm hoping I can use some of these pretty papers for tags or pockets or, you know, whatever. Real excited about it. I might decorate a couple of pages on a video just for the heck of it, you know. Usually I do a flip through at the end, but it might be fun to just do part of the process as well. So this is the 32-pound paper. This is the heavier stuff. So just like we did on the previous color, I'm just going to make sure that they're covered really well. Stack, you know, 5, 6, 7 sheets in here. I mean, you could totally do a whole bunch. But for the sake of this video, and since I only have so much space to dry them, I'm just doing, you know, a few of each. In real life, I would be doing, you know, 50 or 60 of each color. But, you know, I'm sure you don't want to sit there and watch me do that many pages. So we'll just keep it short so you kind of get the idea and we can see the results together and hopefully give you a project for the weekend, right? And this is just copy paper. You can probably tell the difference, huh? This is just the 20 pound, I think. Just regular old copy paper. I love this color of purple. This shade of purple. It's really nice. You know, and if you have paper towels when you're working on this that you're kind of drying your fingers off like I am, hold on to those, because I don't know if you've seen my video on using napkins, you know, to make different things for your journals. You can save your paper towels that have all these colors on them and use them for tags and stuff like that. It might just look like a rag with different colors on it, but you can actually make some pretty cool stuff with them. So keep that in mind. Because why not? You can make cute little pockets or tags out of these, or page tabs even. I know that's kind of something that I've been doing a lot more of lately, is the page tabs and putting them on lots of different things. So these are, you know, index cards are a little bit thicker paper, so they would be perfect. Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned this before with the yellow. I left it in the pan soaking for maybe 3 minutes. It wasn't very long at all, but we did have a lot of yellow dye in that pan. The purple, it's pretty dark too, so I don't think we'll have to leave it in there too long. But of course, the longer you leave it in there, the darker it's going to get. Oh, another thing is I'm not using hot boiling water. I know when you read the instructions on the dye, it'll say to use boiling water, you know, because this is for fabric usually. So I found that just using regular, you know, room temperature water works just as well. You might just have to leave it in there a little bit longer. And yeah, I mean, it cools off so fast when you're doing something like this that, I don't know, it's up to you. If you want to use boiling water, go ahead, you know. But okay, let's move to the next room. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to see this okay. I'm going to start taking them out of the pan, starting with the index cards. And I'm going to put stencil again. This is a cute little flower. Try to cover that up. I mean, some of the petals are going to be off the edge, but I think that'll be just fine. This one has lots of flowers. I'm going to put a little spray of pink on this. I don't know if it's going to make any difference, but we'll just put a little bit on there. See how that turns out. Mix in a couple colors together. Okay, here's another one. I'm just going to leave that as it is. We'll start taking the pages out. Let's do a stencil on this one. I think I'm actually going to spritz some coffee on this one. I don't know, purple and brown, but we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. It's just fun to just experiment and see how things turn out. Okay. Yeah, this paper got dark really fast. So a lot darker than I thought it was going to, so I think it's going to be really pretty when it's done. Let's see, I might turn this. And usually when I put stencils on the pages, I've always been like very good about leaving them where they are. and not moving them after I put a stencil on top of them, because I'm, you know, worried that when you move them around, it's going to mess up the stencil. So with the yellow pages, we will see, because I obviously moved them to a different space to dry, and I'm hoping that didn't mess up the stencils. Oh, this purple is beautiful. Do you see how the index cards look more of a pinkish than the full-size pages? I think it's just because of the type of paper it is. It's thicker paper, and you know, it's funny too. You can just get two different brands of the same weight of paper and they will turn out different colors. It's really weird. Let's do another stencil just for fun. I think this one I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm not going to put a different color on it or anything. I'm just going to let it be just purple. Okay, I'm excited to see how this all turns out when it's dry. I mean, these are probably going to take a few hours to dry. So, yeah, I'm excited to see the end results. Okay, now I think we're going to do some blue next. So this one's aquamarine. I've already put the water in the pan. I'm not going to put quite as much dye in this one this time. The pages have been turning out a little darker than I wanted, so I'm just going to cut back and put a little bit less color. That blue is really pretty, isn't it? Very pastel, very Easter-ish. Looks like Windex, doesn't it? It looks like glass cleaner. Okay. So I'm just, again, going to start putting in the pages. Yeah, our tulips are starting to come up. Our daffodils are blooming. I'm so excited for spring. I usually plant a garden. We had some trouble with our well, it's a skid steer that we have an attachment for to till up the garden, and there's problems with it, and it's at the mechanics, and it's been there for a while, and I'm starting to worry that it's not going to be done in time to till the garden so that I can plant. So I'm kind of stressing out about, you know, the thought that I might not have a garden this year. I guess I can get my little tiller out and, you know, just do a little space. But usually I do pumpkins and all kinds of stuff, corn. But we'll see what happens. If I don't have a garden, I just have more time to do junk journals, right? So what about you guys? Do you guys have tulips and daffodils coming up, lilies? Let me know. I'm in Utah, so we're just finishing winter. We just had snow a couple days ago. Actually, I went, me and my sisters took a drive to Wyoming to get lottery tickets, because if you didn't know, you can't, you know, Utah doesn't have the lottery. So if we want lottery tickets, we have to go to one of the surrounding states. And so we took a drive to Wyoming. And oh, the views were so beautiful. The mountains with the snow. And I was telling my sister, I was driving, so I told my sister, snap some pictures. This is so pretty. So if I remember, I'll pop a couple of those pictures up so you see, oh, so gorgeous. We live in such a beautiful state. Utah is just amazing. I'm sure everybody thinks their state is awesome, but yeah, there's just so much to see in Utah. There's probably stuff I haven't seen. And I've lived here. I was born here. I've lived here my whole life. So it's just beautiful. Okay, let's go take them out. Okay, I'm going to pull out the index cards first. They don't look like they got very dark, but again, I didn't put as much of the dye in this time, so. Although the other pages seem like they are darker, so it might just be the paper. Let me do a little stencil. I'll do a little flower. And I think I'm gonna, I know it's so light, you can hardly see it. I'm gonna spray some of the blue spray. It's the same color, it's just a little more concentrated. Spray that on there, see how that does. Okay. I'm gonna move this over here. I think I will do some stencils. I always just think it's so much more interesting when you have a pattern or something. I usually don't wash my stencils either because I think it gives you an unexpected surprise the next time you use it if it has dye from the previous project. Unless I'm using like texture paste or something like that through it, I usually don't really wash them. So I'm going to put coffee through this. Maybe I'll do a little coffee and some blue. Some of the darker blue. And then on this one, so I have this placemat, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down 2 sheets here and here, and then I'm going to put that placemat upside down over the top of them. I've had some really good results with like the avocado dye and the coffee dye with this placemat. It makes a really cool design. So I want to give it a go. So these are definitely lighter than the other colors we did. Let's see how it turns out. So I'm just going to put this upside down on top of those and let it dry with that on top of it. See, like I said, I got some really good results with the coffee and the avocado dyes using this placemat. Actually, let me show you. Look how gorgeous this is. This is the coffee dye. Look how cool that is. It's so detailed. I get excited every time I look at it. It's just so cool. But I'm hoping I'll get the same result with the blue. Since obviously I don't have any more room to put the last few sheets here, I'm going to stop at this point. Okay, I'm kind of out of room in my drying area. So what I did, I just rinsed this pan out so it's a little damp inside. What I'm going to do is just use some of those little spray bottles that we filled at the beginning of the video with the colors. And so I just sprayed a little water in here. I'm getting some paper. The reason why I did that is because if you notice when you spray a paper, it'll curl up. But if it's wet on both sides, then it's not as likely to curl. So that's why I sprayed some water in there first. I'm just going to get some of the little spray bottles with the dye in it and just kind of do maybe a little tie-dye type thing with some different colors. This is just fun to play, you know. Be fun to get the kids, the grandkids, kind of play around. Probably want to do it outside though with the kids, right? You want dye all over your carpet or your rug. Okay, everything is dry, so let's take a look at the results. So I'm going to start with the yellow. So this is the tulip, obviously the tulip stencil that I put on top and then sprayed the colors through it. That turned out really good. This is one that I sprayed coffee through, or yeah, I mean I really love this one. It's really detailed and beautiful. This is one that I just did the spray colors on. What I did notice is just laying the stencil on top of these pages with this RIT dye didn't give me the same results as like the coffee and the avocado dyes do. So I don't know if it's because it's not natural dye. I didn't get the same result. But if I sprayed something else like coffee through it, then I would see the stencils. So I do like that look, but I mean, there's a lesson that we learned with doing this. It doesn't react the same as natural dye. Here's one I did coffee through. Really love it. So yeah, a lot of the stencils I did where I just laid the stencil on top of the paper without putting any other colors just didn't really work out very well. I mean, you can barely see that one. I don't even know if you can see it on the camera. I can see it, but it's very faint. And all these little spots are actually from the towel itself. That turned out kind of cool, I think. And there we are again. The coffee with the sunflower stencil. I just love that. Now this is coffee through, on the blue paper. Beautiful. I mean, I can totally imagine doing a journal with coffee dyed paper and the blue paper with coffee stenciling. Just blue and brown pages. Wouldn't that be beautiful? I just love that blue and brown together. And this is the one where I put the placemat on top of it. Remember, I showed you the one that I did with coffee. So it's very faint, and I didn't put anything on it. I think there was just residual coffee left on the placemat from before. So that's what you're seeing. Super pretty. Here I did a little bit of blue spray and coffee. So that turned out kind of cool. Yeah, you should see my living room. It looks like a rainbow, I don't know, unicorns got together and had a party in there. There's so many different colors of paper in there. This turned out really pretty too. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm so happy you stayed until the end, and I hope I gave you ideas for a new project this weekend. And I will see you in my next video, guys. Thanks. Bye.